Are you starting your morning with a glass of salt water because you've heard it can boost your health after 60? What if that same habit could be helping some people while quietly creating problems for others? And what if the truth is far more surprising than the headlines you've seen? Every morning, thousands of older adults stir a pinch of salt into a glass of water, convinced they're giving their bodies exactly what they need. Some believe it improves hydration. Others hope it increases energy, supports digestion, or even helps their muscles feel stronger. It sounds simple, natural, and harmless. But is it really? In this video, you'll discover what current science says about drinking salt water every morning after 60. We'll explore what actually happens inside your body after that first sip, the potential benefits some people may experience, the hidden risks that often go unnoticed, and who should think twice before making this part of a daily routine. The answer isn't as simple as good or bad. As you get older, your body handles fluids and sodium differently than it did decades ago. Your kidneys may not work quite as efficiently, your blood vessels can become more sensitive. Even small daily habits can have a bigger impact than you might expect. That's why advice that works for one person may not be the right choice for another. But here's the part that surprises many people. Salt isn't your enemy. In fact, your body needs sodium every single day. Without enough of it, your nerves can't send signals properly. Your muscles, including your heart, can't work the way they should, and your body struggles to keep the right balance of fluids. So why do so many health experts still warn people to be careful? The real issue isn't simply salt. It's how much you're getting, where it's coming from, and whether your body can manage it safely. That's where many popular health trends leave out the most important part of the story. And before you assume you already know the answer, consider this. Some people who drink salt water notice nothing unusual at all. Others may experience bloating, increased thirst, or changes in blood pressure without realizing their morning routine could be playing a role. The difference often comes down to something many people over 60 never think about. Stay with us, because in just a moment you'll see exactly what happens inside your body from the instant that first sip reaches your mouth. The process begins in seconds, and one reaction that takes place deep inside your kidneys may completely change the way you think about this popular morning habit. The moment that salt water enters your mouth, your body goes to work. It may seem like nothing more than a simple drink, but inside you, millions of tiny processes begin almost immediately. Your body isn't asking whether salt is good or bad. It's asking one question, asterisk, how do I keep everything in balance? As the water moves into your stomach and then your intestines, the sodium starts to be absorbed into your bloodstream. Water follows along, and together they become part of the carefully controlled system that keeps every cell in your body functioning. This isn't just about hydration, it's about survival. Sodium is one of the most important minerals your body needs. It helps your nerves send messages from your brain to your muscles. It allows your muscles to contract and relax properly, including the muscle that never gets a break, your heart. It also helps maintain the right amount of fluid inside and outside your cells. Without enough sodium, these systems can't work the way they're supposed to. That's why the idea that all salt is bad simply isn't true. Your body needs sodium every day. The real question is whether you're getting the right amount for your own health. Here's where age begins to change the story. After 60, your body often becomes less efficient at managing fluids and sodium. Your kidneys may filter waste more slowly than they once did. Your sense of thirst may not be as strong, making it easier to become dehydrated without realizing it. Hormonal changes can also affect how your body holds on to water and sodium. These changes don't happen overnight, but they can make your body less forgiving of extremes. The good news is that your body is remarkably smart. Healthy kidneys constantly adjust the amount of sodium they keep and the amount they remove through urine. If you've consumed a little extra sodium, they often work to restore balance. It's an incredible system that operates every minute of every day without you even noticing. But what happens if that system is already under strain? If your kidneys aren't working as efficiently, or if you already have high blood pressure or certain heart conditions, handling extra sodium may become more difficult. Instead of simply passing the excess out of your body, it may hold on to more water than necessary. That extra fluid can increase the workload on your heart and blood vessels. This doesn't mean that every glass of salt water is harmful. It means your body's response depends on your overall health, your diet, your medications, and how much sodium you're already consuming from other foods. Two people can drink the exact same glass of salt water and have very different outcomes. And there's another important detail that many people never consider. The sodium in your morning drink isn't the only sodium your body sees all day. Bread, soups, sauces, canned foods, processed meats, cheese, and even foods that don't taste especially salty can quietly add up. By the time dinner arrives, some people have already consumed far more sodium than they realize. So before deciding whether a morning glass of salt water is a healthy habit, you first need to understand what happens after that sodium enters your bloodstream. Because over the next few hours, your heart, blood vessels, and kidneys begin working together in ways that may explain why some people feel refreshed, while others unknowingly place extra stress on their bodies. And that's exactly what we'll uncover next. Now let's follow that glass of salt water on its journey through your body. The changes don't happen all at once. They unfold step by step, and understanding this process helps explain why people can have such different experiences with the very same morning habit. Within minutes, the sodium absorbed from your digestive system enters your bloodstream. Your body immediately notices the change. It doesn't panic, but it does begin making tiny adjustments to keep everything in balance. Think of it like the thermostat in your home. The goal isn't to make dramatic changes, it's to keep everything steady. One of the first things your body does is manage the movement of water. Because sodium attracts water, your body carefully shifts fluids between your cells and your bloodstream. If you've woken up slightly dehydrated after a night's sleep, drinking water can certainly help. But adding salt doesn't automatically make hydration better. In fact, for many people, plain water is exactly what the body needs first thing in the morning. Some people say they feel more energized after drinking salt water. Why might that happen? In certain situations, such as after heavy sweating, vomiting, or diarrhea, when the body has lost both water and electrolytes, a drink containing sodium may help replace what was lost. That can improve how a person feels. But those situations are very different from an average morning after a normal night's sleep. For someone who was already well hydrated and eating a typical diet, the story may be different. If the body already has enough sodium, adding more doesn't necessarily provide extra benefits. Instead, your kidneys must decide what to do with the excess. This is where those remarkable organs take center stage. Every day, your kidneys filter an enormous amount of blood, removing waste while carefully deciding how much water and sodium to keep. It's an extraordinary balancing act. If everything is working well, they often remove extra sodium through your urine, helping restore the balance your body needs. But this process isn't free. It requires your kidneys, hormones, and blood vessels to work together continuously. As we age, that balancing act can become more challenging. A little extra sodium that might not have mattered years ago could have a greater effect today, especially for people with underlying health conditions. You may also notice something else after drinking salt water, a stronger feeling of thirst. That isn't necessarily a bad sign. It's actually one of your body's smartest defense systems. When sodium levels rise, your brain encourages you to drink more water to help restore the proper balance. In other words, if salt water leaves you feeling thirstier, your body may simply be asking for more plain water. Some people also notice temporary bloating or puffiness, especially around their fingers, ankles, or face. This can happen because the body may hold on to extra water when sodium intake increases. For some people, the effect is barely noticeable. For others, particularly those with heart or kidney problems, it can become much more significant. Here's something that surprises many people. You may not feel any warning signs at all. Your blood pressure can rise gradually over time without causing headaches, dizziness, or pain. That's one reason high blood pressure is often called a silent condition. A daily habit can influence your body long before you notice anything has changed. So, does this mean drinking salt water every morning is a mistake? Not necessarily. The answer depends on your overall health, your medications, your diet, and how much sodium your body truly needs, not on what works for someone else. And that's where the conversation becomes even more interesting. Because despite the possible risks, there are situations where sodium does play an important role in keeping the body functioning properly. The key is understanding the difference between a genuine need and a popular trend. In the next section, we'll explore the potential benefits that science does support and why they apply to far fewer people than many online claims suggest. After everything we've covered so far, you might be wondering if drinking salt water every morning has any real benefits at all. The answer may surprise you. Yes, sodium plays a vital role in your health, but that doesn't automatically mean adding salt to your morning water is the right choice. Let's separate the science from the hype. Your body cannot function without sodium. Every heartbeat, every muscle movement, and every message traveling from your brain through your nerves depends on having the right balance of this essential mineral. Without enough sodium, your body would struggle to perform even the simplest tasks. But here's an important distinction. Needing sodium is not the same as needing salt water every morning. Our in a situation where extra sodium may be helpful is after your body has lost a significant amount of fluids and electrolytes. This can happen after prolonged sweating, severe vomiting, or diarrhea. In these circumstances, replacing both water and electrolytes may support recovery. That's why oral rehydration solutions are carefully formulated with precise amounts of sodium, glucose, and other ingredients. They're designed for specific medical situations, not as an everyday wellness habit. For most healthy adults over 60, an ordinary morning after a normal night's sleep is very different. If you've simply been resting, your body usually hasn't lost enough sodium to require replacing it with salt water. In many cases, drinking plain water is enough to help restore hydration after waking up. Another claim you may have heard is that salt water wakes up your body or gives you more energy. The science here is less convincing. While proper hydration certainly helps you feel your best, there's little evidence that adding extra salt to your morning water boosts energy in someone who already has normal sodium levels. If people feel better after drinking it, the improvement may simply come from drinking water after several hours without fluids, not necessarily from the salt itself. Some people also believe salt water improves digestion. This idea has become popular online, but scientific evidence supporting daily salt water as a digestive aid is limited. Your digestive system already has highly effective ways of processing food without needing extra sodium every morning. If you experience frequent digestive problems, it's important to look for the underlying cause rather than relying on a trend. Here's another fact many people don't realize. Your body is remarkably efficient at getting the sodium it needs from the foods you eat. Bread, dairy products, soups, cereals, sauces, and countless everyday foods naturally contribute sodium throughout the day. Even meals that don't taste especially salty often provide more sodium than you expect. That means many people are already meeting or even exceeding their daily sodium needs without ever picking up the salt shaker. Now, this doesn't mean salt should be feared. In fact, cutting sodium too drastically without medical guidance can also create problems. If sodium levels become too low, symptoms such as weakness, confusion, muscle cramps, nausea, and fatigue can develop. The healthiest approach isn't to avoid sodium completely or consume as much as possible. It's to maintain the right balance for your body's needs, and this is where personalized health becomes so important. Two neighbors of the same age could follow the exact same morning routine, yet one may tolerate it well while the other experiences rising blood pressure or fluid retention over time. The difference often depends on factors that aren't visible, such as kidney function, heart health, medications, activity level, and the amount of sodium already present in their daily diet. So, if the potential benefits of drinking salt water every morning apply to only certain situations, what about the risks? This is the part that many online videos skip, but it's also the part that could matter most after 60. In the next section, we'll uncover the hidden dangers that can develop quietly over time, and explain why so many people never realize their morning habit may be working against them. Now we come to the part that deserves the most attention. The risks of drinking salt water every morning don't usually appear overnight. They often develop slowly, quietly, and without obvious warning signs. That's exactly why so many people never connect their daily habit to the changes happening inside their bodies. Let's start with one of the biggest concerns: blood pressure. When your body holds on to extra sodium, it often holds on to extra water as well. That additional fluid increases the volume of blood moving through your blood vessels. Imagine turning up the water pressure inside a garden hose. Over time, the walls of the hose experience more stress. Your blood vessels can respond in a similar way. Not everyone reacts the same way to sodium. Some people are more salt sensitive, meaning their blood pressure rises more noticeably when they consume extra sodium. This sensitivity becomes more common as people get older, especially after 60. The challenging part is that you may have no idea you're salt sensitive until your blood pressure is measured. And here's what makes high blood pressure especially dangerous. It often has no symptoms at all. You may feel perfectly fine while your heart is working harder than it should be. There may be no headaches, no dizziness, and no pain to warn you. That's why regular blood pressure checks become increasingly important with age. But blood pressure isn't the only concern. Your kidneys also carry a heavier workload. Every extra bit of sodium your body doesn't need must be filtered and balanced. Healthy kidneys are incredibly resilient, but they aren't indestructible. As we age, kidney function naturally changes. If kidney disease is already present, even in its early stages, adding unnecessary sodium every day may place additional strain on an organ that's already working harder to keep everything in balance. Then there's extra fluid retention, something many older adults experience without realizing what may be contributing to it. Have you ever noticed your rings feeling tighter by the afternoon? Or your socks leaving deep marks around your ankles? Maybe your shoes feel snug even though they fit comfortably the day before. These changes can happen for many reasons, but excess sodium may encourage your body to hold on to more water than it needs, leading to swelling in the hands, feet, ankles, or lower legs. For people living with certain heart conditions, this becomes even more important. When the body retains extra fluid, the heart has to pump against a greater volume of blood. Over time, that additional workload may make existing heart problems more difficult to manage. This is one reason many people with heart failure are advised to limit sodium intake under the guidance of their healthcare team. Here's another hidden problem that catches many people off guard. Most of the sodium in a typical diet doesn't come from the salt shaker. It comes from processed and packaged foods. A bowl of canned soup, a frozen meal, slices of deli meat, breakfast cereal, cheese, bread, bottled sauces, and even foods that don't taste especially salty can all contribute significant amounts of sodium. That means your morning salt water may not be adding to a low-sodium diet, may be adding to a diet that's already providing more sodium than your body needs. This is where good intentions can quietly become a problem. You might think, it's only one small pinch of salt, and by itself that may not seem like much. But health is built on daily habits. Small choices repeated every morning, every week, and every year can have a much greater impact than a single large decision. At the same time, it's important not to swing to the opposite extreme. Sodium is not the villain . Your body needs it to survive. The goal isn't to fear salt. The goal is to avoid unnecessary excess while making sure you're getting the amount that's right for your individual health. So how do you know whether drinking salt water every morning is a harmless habit or one you should reconsider? The answer depends less on the glass in your hand and more on who you are. Your medical history, the medications you take, and the health of your heart and kidneys can completely change the picture. In the next section, you'll discover the groups of people who should be especially cautious and why one conversation with a healthcare professional could make all the difference before following this popular trend. So, who should be especially careful before making salt water part of a daily morning routine? The answer may be more personal than you think. A habit that seems harmless for one person could create unnecessary challenges for another, especially after the age of 60. The first group is people living with high blood pressure. If you've ever been told your blood pressure is higher than it should be, your body may already be sensitive to sodium. Adding extra salt every morning could make it more difficult to keep your blood pressure within a healthy range. Even if you're taking medication and your numbers look good, that doesn't necessarily mean your body can handle additional sodium without consequences. Your medication and your daily habits work together, not separately. The second group includes people with kidney disease. Your kidneys are your body's natural filtration system. Their job is to remove waste while maintaining the right balance of water and minerals. When kidney function is reduced, even slightly, that balancing act becomes more difficult. Extra sodium may stay in your body longer than it should, increasing fluid retention and placing additional stress on your kidneys. Because early kidney disease often causes few noticeable symptoms, many people don't realize their kidneys aren't working at full strength until routine blood tests reveal the problem. Another group that needs to be especially cautious is people living with heart failure or other serious heart conditions. When the heart isn't pumping as efficiently as it should, every extra ounce of retained fluid matters. More fluid means the heart has to work harder, and over time, that added strain can make symptoms such as shortness of breath, fatigue, or swelling worse. That's why many heart specialists recommend limiting sodium as part of an overall treatment plan. If you've been given that advice, adding salt to your morning water could work against the goals you're trying to achieve. People with certain liver conditions also need to be careful. Some liver diseases can affect the body's ability to regulate fluids, leading to swelling in the legs or fluid buildup in the abdomen. In these situations, healthcare professionals often recommend carefully controlling sodium intake to help manage these complications. Following online health trends without considering an existing medical condition can sometimes do more harm than good. There's another group that often gets overlooked: people taking certain medications. Some medicines for blood pressure, heart conditions, kidney disease, or fluid retention are designed to help your body manage sodium and water more effectively. If you begin adding extra sodium every morning without discussing it with your healthcare professional, you may unintentionally reduce the effectiveness of those medications. Even over-the-counter products and dietary supplements can interact with your body's fluid balance in ways that aren't always obvious. Now, you may be thinking, I've never been diagnosed with any of these conditions, so I'm probably fine. Maybe. But here's the hidden truth. Many people over 60 have early high blood pressure or reduced kidney function without knowing it. These conditions can develop quietly for years before causing symptoms. That's why routine checkups, blood pressure measurements, and recommended lab tests are so valuable. They can reveal problems long before you feel them. Here's the encouraging news. If your healthcare professional hasn't advised you to restrict sodium and you're generally healthy, you probably don't need to fear every grain of salt. The goal isn't to eliminate sodium from your diet. It's to avoid adding extra sodium without a clear reason. In fact, for most people, a balanced diet already provides all the sodium the body requires for healthy nerve function, muscle movement, and fluid balance. Instead of asking, is salt water good or bad? Try asking a better question. Is this habit right for my body? That's the question science encourages us to answer, because health advice is rarely one size fits all. And if drinking salt water every morning isn't the secret to healthier aging, what should your morning routine include instead? The answer is refreshingly simple. In the final section, we'll explore practical habits that can genuinely support your health after 60 without relying on internet trends or miracle claims. If drinking salt water every morning isn't the miracle habit it's often made out to be, then what should you do instead? The good news is that the most effective morning habits usually aren't the most complicated. They're the simple routines that support your body day after year after year. Let's begin with the easiest one. Start your morning with plain water. Several hours of sleep, your body has naturally gone without fluids. For most people, a glass of plain water is all that's needed to begin rehydrating. It helps replace the fluids you've lost overnight without adding unnecessary sodium. Sometimes the simplest choice really is the smartest one. Next, don't wait too long to eat balanced breakfast. Your body needs more than just water to start the day well. A breakfast that includes protein, fiber, and healthy fats can help provide steady energy and keep you feeling satisfied longer. Foods like eggs, yogurt, oatmeal, fruit, nuts, or whole grains can be part of a nourishing morning meal. Rather than focusing on a single super drink, think about building a routine that supports your overall nutrition. Another habit that's often overlooked is gentle morning movement. You don't need an intense workout. A short walk, light stretching, or a few simple balance exercises can help wake up your muscles, improve circulation, and loosen stiff joints after a night's sleep. Many people notice they feel more alert and more mobile simply by moving their bodies for a few minutes each morning. Here's another simple practice that can make a real difference. Pay attention to your body's signals. Are you truly thirsty? Or are you drinking something because you heard it was healthy? Do your rings suddenly feel tighter? Are your ankles swelling by the end of the day? Have your blood pressure readings changed recently? Your body often gives small clues long before a problem becomes serious. Learning to notice those clues is one of the most valuable health habits you can develop. If you have a home blood pressure monitor, use it consistently if your healthcare professional recommends it. Keep a record of your readings instead of relying on how you feel. Remember, high blood pressure often develops silently. Good numbers can give you peace of mind, while unusual readings can prompt an early conversation before bigger problems arise. And don't underestimate the importance of regular medical checkups. Routine visits aren't just about treating illness, they're about preventing it. Simple blood tests can evaluate kidney function, and regular checkups can identify changes that aren't yet causing symptoms. These appointments help ensure that your health decisions are based on your body's actual needs rather than popular advice online. Here's something else worth remembering. Health trends come and go. One year it's salt water, the next year it's another drink, supplement, or miracle ingredient. But the habits that consistently stand the test of time are remarkably familiar. Staying hydrated, eating a balanced diet, being physically active, getting enough sleep. managing stress, and following medical advice that's tailored to your individual health. That may not sound as exciting as a viral trend, but it's supported by decades of research, and it's far more likely to benefit you over the long run. So before you add anything new to your morning routine, ask yourself one simple question. Do I need this, or do I simply hope it works? Ask questions thinking can protect you from chasing promises that sound impressive but offer little real benefit. We've explored the science, the possible benefits, the hidden risks, and the people who should be especially careful. Now there's just one final piece of the puzzle. The most important lesson of all. It's a reminder that could change the way you think about every health trend you encounter from this day forward. By now, you've probably realized that the truth about drinking salt water every morning after 60 isn't as simple as many videos or social media posts make it seem. It's neither a miracle cure nor something everyone needs to fear. The real answer depends on one thing. Ask your body. That's perhaps the most important lesson you can take away today. As we get older, our bodies become more unique. The advice that helps your neighbor, a family member, or someone on the internet may not be the advice that's right for you. Your kidneys, your heart, your blood pressure, your medications, and your overall health all play a role in how your body responds to something as simple as a glass of salt water. The good news is that you don't need to chase every new health trend to age well. In fact, the habits that have the greatest impact on long-term health are often the ones people overlook because they seem too ordinary. Drinking enough plain water, eating nutritious meals, staying physically active, sleeping well, managing stress, keeping your blood pressure under control, and working with your healthcare professional to make decisions based on your personal health, not on viral headlines. Remember, small habits become powerful because they're repeated. One healthy choice may not change your life overnight, but hundreds of healthy choices made consistently over months and years can help support your strength, your independence, and your quality of life. If you're considering adding salt water to your morning routine, don't ask whether it's popular. Ask whether it's appropriate for you. If you have high blood pressure, kidney disease, heart problems, or have been advised to limit sodium, it's especially important to discuss any significant dietary changes with your healthcare professional before making them a daily habit. And if you're already drinking salt water every morning and feeling perfectly fine, don't assume that means it's automatically helping or harming you. The safest approach is to understand your own health, monitor important measures like blood pressure if recommended, and make informed decisions based on evidence rather than assumptions. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself after 60 isn't a special drink or a secret ingredient. It's the habit of asking good questions, looking for reliable information, and making thoughtful choices. That mindset will serve you far better than any trend that promises quick results. If this video helps you separate fact from fiction, share it with someone who may be following this trend without knowing the full story. You could help them make a more informed decision about their health. And if you enjoy straightforward science-based videos that explain what really happens inside your body as you age without myths, fear-mongering, or miracle claims, be sure to subscribe and join us for more. Every week, we explore practical health topics designed to help you stay informed, protect your well-being, and enjoy a healthier, more confident future. Because the best health decisions aren't the loudest ones. They're the ones built on knowledge, balance, and consistency. And sometimes, the smallest choices you make each morning can shape the years ahead more than you ever imagined. Until next time, take care of yourself. Stay curious, and remember, your health is too important to leave to trends. Let science, common sense, and your own body's needs guide the way.